vessels. Uh, this is another slide which I've already explained, that why plasma colloid osmotic pressure is higher in the glomerular capillaries. It is basically when the blood flows through the glomerular capillary, the fluid is filtered, but the plasma proteins are left behind, thereby increasing the plasma colloid osmotic pressure of the glomerular capillaries. And why there is no colloid osmotic pressure in the Bowman's capsule is because proteins are not filtered across, so obviously there will be no colloid osmotic pressure in the Bowman's capsule. Now for GFR, we know that the filtration pressure is 10 millimeters of mercury, and GFR per minute जो है वो that is basically 125 milliliter per minute for all the nephrons in both the kidneys. You must remember this very clearly, that if somebody asks you to define what GFR is, or if somebody asks you its value, then what you have to say is that the glomerular filtration rate is 125 milliliter per minute in all the nephrons of both the kidneys. And in GFR, males is more than females, and this is basically because of the size of the kidney. Male kidneys are larger as compared to female kidney, and in females the GFR increases during the secretory phase of the menstrual cycle, and in pregnancy it increases 50 to 100%. What is a filtration coefficient? We talked in the previous lecture that GFR depends on number one, the balance of the hydrostatic and the colloid osmotic forces which are acting across the capillary membrane, which we also talked previously in the previous slides, and number two, the capillary filtration coefficient. And this capillary filtration coefficient is actually a product of the permeability and the surface area of the capillaries, and you can get it's mathematically you can derive it as GFR divided by the filtration pressure. And for in case of the glomerular capillaries, the filtration coefficient is very high, which is about 12.5 milliliters per minute per millimeters of mercury, and this allows for a high glomerular filtration rate. What is filtration fraction? Again, we have discussed this previously also. The filtration fraction is the fraction of the renal plasma that filters across the renal glomerular capillaries, and it is the percentage of plasma which filters through the glomerular membrane per minute. It is also a ratio between renal plasma flow and glomerular filtration rate. So mathematically you can derive it as GFR divided by the renal plasma flow. And the GFR in case of the renal capillaries is GFR, you know, that is 125 milliliters per minute, whereas the renal plasma flow is 675 milliliters per minute. So the filtration fraction becomes 125 divided by 675, and it has a range of 0.19 to 0.2 or 19 to 20%. That means that 20% of the plasma which flows through the renal capillaries is filtered across the glomerular capillary membrane. Now let us go on to the factors that are going to affect or regulate the GFR. First of all, it is the permeability of the glomerular capillary membrane. We know that the higher the permeability, the higher will be the GFR. So there is a direct relationship between the permeability of the glomerular capillary membrane and the GFR. In case of hypoxia, there is a lack of blood supply, and also the presence of toxic agents which will affect the glomerular capillary membrane, and it can lead to damage to the glomerular capillary membrane, and it will increase the permeability, and even plasma proteins can be filtered across it, and they can be excreted into the urine. And sometimes what happens is that in some diseases like chronic uncontrolled hypertension and diabetes mellitus, even the thickness of the glomerular capillary membrane that increases, and this also leads to a decrease in the glomerular filtration rate. The thickness of the glomerular capillary membrane basically is a factor which affects the GFR directly. Number 2 is the surface area of the glomerular capillary membrane. GFR is again directly proportional to the surface area of the glomerular capillary membrane. In case of nephrectomy, the surface area decreases, so does the GFR. And in renal disease, if the glomerular capillary membrane is affected, the surface area also decreases, and so does the GFR. Let's go on to the effect of glomerular capillary hydrostatic pressure on the glomerular filtration rate. This is a major factor which regulates the GFR. If the glomerular capillary hydrostatic pressure increases, the GFR increases, and if the glomerular hydrostatic pressure decreases, the GFR also decreases. Let me remind you that the normal glomerular hydrostatic pressure is 60 millimeters of mercury, and which is basically determined by three variables. Number 1, you have the arterial pressure. Number 2, you have the afferent arteriolar resistance, and number 3, you have the efferent arteriolar resistance. So what I am saying is that glomerular hydrostatic pressure is a main regulator of GFR, and this is determined by three variables, which are arterial pressure, the afferent arteriolar resistance, and the efferent arteriolar resistance. Now, when the arterial pressure increases, the glomerular hydrostatic pressure will increase, and so will the GFR. Now, if you come to the afferent arteriolar resistance, if the afferent arteriolar resistance increases, you can very well imagine a constriction to the inflow pipe. This will lead to a decrease in the glomerular hydrostatic pressure, and the GFR will decrease. And if the afferent arteriolar resistance decreases, meaning it becomes dilated, then the glomerular hydrostatic pressure will increase, and so will the GFR. Now, the efferent arteriolar resistance has a biphasic effect on the glomerular hydrostatic pressure. Initially, if there is a mild to moderate constriction of the efferent arterioles, meaning that if the efferent arteriolar resistance initially increases to a mild degree, this will lead to an increase in the glomerular hydrostatic pressure, also leading to an increase in the glomerular filtration rate. But if the efferent arteriolar resistance becomes severe, what happens then is that because of the stagnation of the outflow pipe, the renal blood flow decreases, and when the renal blood flow decreases, then what happens is that the filtration fraction increases, and when filtration fraction increases, larger amounts of proteins are left behind in the glomerular capillaries, thereby leading to an increase in the glomerular osmotic pressure, and this leads to a decrease in GFR. So again, I will repeat that the efferent arteriolar resistance has a biphasic effect on the glomerular capillary hydrostatic pressure. In case of mild to moderate constriction, the hydrostatic pressure increases, and so does the glomerular filtration rate. But if the efferent arteriolar resistance becomes severe, then because of a decrease in the renal blood flow, there is an increase in filtration pressure, which leads to an increase in the glomerular osmotic pressure, thereby leading to a decrease in GFR, renal arterial blood flow on the GFR. Now let's go on to Bowman's capsule hydrostatic pressure. The normal Bowman's capsule hydrostatic pressure is 18 millimeters of mercury, and when this pressure increases, the GFR will decrease, because as you can imagine, this is a force that prevents filtration, and this pressure can increase in case of urethral obstruction or edema of the kidney beneath the renal capsule, and which will lead to a decrease in the glomerular filtration rate. I have already talked about the constriction of the afferent arterioles. The afferent arterioles are the inflow vessels. So whenever there is a constriction of the afferent arterioles, there will be a reduced flow to the glomerular capillaries, which will decrease the GFR. A constriction of the efferent arterioles, we have already discussed this, where the constriction of the efferent arterioles, I told you, has a biphasic effect on the glomerular filtration rate. First it increases the GFR, and then it decreases the GFR, and that is basically because initial constriction of the of the efferent arterioles offers resistance to the outflow, and this causes stagnation of blood in the capillaries and increases the glomerular hydrostatic pressure, which leads to an increase in the GFR. But as some time passes, all of the plasma that is present in the glomerular capillaries will be filtered across, and only the plasma proteins will be left behind, which will increase the glomerular osmotic pressure, and this eventually will lead to a decrease in the